Okay, if you want to live a successful life, here's the deal. I got 6 keys today that if you follow these keys to the T, there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't eventually be able to obtain the success that you're looking for. All right, let's get into it. Now, these keys are just as simple as can be, but the reality is that most people miss at least 3 of these, and you have to have them all in place. If you don't, not only are you hurting yourself, but you could be sending yourself down a path that will take you 10 times as long to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. Now, there's another video where I talked about what it kind of means to, what it really does mean to build a successful life. And though it's defined by you, the reality of it is that there are what I find thin lines, threads between successful people, that they all have these few things in common that when you weave them together, you find lead to a successful life. Because really all we want, most of us, we're looking for real happiness, and real happiness comes from purpose. And we're all looking to be able to have a degree of independence in our life. And that comes both from financial and from real gain, human gain, growth. Those 2 things combined. And so I talked earlier about what it means. Now we're going to talk about the how. And in order to talk about the how, I got to say, you need to understand what you're going to do to obtain whatever it is that is your dream. Meaning, a lot of people in my generation today talk about entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. This channel is all about promotion of free enterprise, but it's more than that. You should be looking to build independence in your life. And if the entrepreneurial route is a route that you want to go down, that you feel led to, that you really, it's more of like it's in your blood, then you got to go down that. I get that. I understand that. But it's not for everyone. And just because you don't want to be an entrepreneur, you shouldn't feel that you can't have independence, because you absolutely can. You can be an investor, you can be a franchisee, you can be self-employed and become a wealthy person, and you can eventually build into being an investor from being a self-employed individual. Or, I've seen many people do this, they have no desire to do any of that, and all they desire to do is to get out of debt and rise in their company. These 6 keys will lead you to do any of those. The reality of it is I believe independence comes from deciding to do 2 things. You decide to live by a plan, and that plan leads you either to build a business, or to build a business and be an investor, or just to be an investor. And through that route, you build independence in the long term. Now, the decision on how quickly that happens is determined by these 6 keys that you have in place. And here they are. Number 1, you've got to have mentorship, guys. Mentorship means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but you got to have it in some shape or form or fashion. Whatever avenue you're trying to go down, you need to have a vehicle, and that vehicle, generally speaking, will help you to connect with a mentor. When you get a mentor teaching you how to use a vehicle properly, just like when we first all got our driver's licenses and we were put in the car with our parents, and our parents taught us, this is how you drive this vehicle, this is how you do that. And at first, everything was black and white. I mean, we all had a real great issue with every piece of it, and we had to focus on, okay, I'm going to turn here, and I'm going to turn this turn signal, and I'm going to watch behind me, and I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to watch the light. And then eventually what happens is we build into, after being mentored, we build into most of us drive today without even thinking about it. And if we drive routes long enough, our brain actually does it automatically, and we just completely go into daze. And the thing about it is that is how life is. When you have a mentor and you get a vehicle, you learn how to run the vehicle, manage the vehicle, grow with the vehicle, be from your mentor, okay? If you don't have a mentor, first of all, I can help you with that. Go to the link in the description, robreview.com, and we have a interesting way of connecting you with mentorship based on what you're trying to do with your life and based on helping you understand the business models that are going to work moving forward in the economy that we find ourselves in today. Okay? Money management is number 2. Number 2 is money management. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. If you don't manage your money properly, you're always going to be in debt. Independence, especially in the financial realm of things, is so freeing to feel that way, to feel that no matter what happens today or tomorrow, nobody's going to take my house, nobody's going to take my car, because they're mine. You got to have money management. Money management is the number one thing in life that if you get right, you can get a lot of other things wrong. But if you understand how to manage your money, if every dollar that comes in has a purpose, you can eventually get to the point where enough of your dollars are working for you that you don't have to work. And then it flips the scales, meaning if you start your life off and 70% of your money you're spending, 30% of your money you're allocating to smarter means of building investments, paying off debt, eventually you'll grow to the point where, and I've seen many, many people do this, where they actually live off of less and they keep, save, and invest more to the point of where, 50-50. They're living off 50% and they're growing with the other 50. And then they make so much money that they flip the scales. And that's when you get in a really cool position where you can live off of 40% or 30%, and that 30 or 40% be so much that you don't need anymore. And then that 60%, that 70%, is just growing at a compounded rate. How cool would that be? And here's the thing, it's not a would, it's a could. You can do it. I believe that anybody can do it because it's just a mathematical formula of time compounding money. Okay, number 3, you got to plan your future. Listen, successful people plan. They live a life on purpose. They're prepared and they plan. And if you don't have a plan, you can't achieve anything. A ship without a direction literally stays in the bay and gets swayed whichever way the wind blows. Think of your GPS. When you plug it in, it always asks you where do you want to go. And then it asks you where you're starting from. And then from there it builds a route that you can follow step by step by step. Y'all remember MapQuest? Some of y'all are my age and remember when MapQuest was the thing. Before GPS, when you could literally print out like directions to the point of when you get to this sign, turn right, and when you get to that sign, turn left. That's what I'm talking about as far as a plan goes. You watch my video that talks about what a successful life is. You figure out what you want to achieve and why you want to achieve it. Then you build yourself a plan for how to get there. If you need more help with that, I can do that. I can hook you up with people that can do that. Okay, number 4, prepare for opportunity and believe that opportunity will come to you. Mindset is an interesting thing. Your tongue is a powerful force. There's a book on my book list called The Tongue is a Creative Force. You literally create things in your life by the things and actions that you take and by the things that you speak. And when your actions are in line with the things you're speaking, powerful things begin to happen. There's a quote, I'll put it up on the screen. It says something to the degree of, when affirmations are spoken enough that they become strong, serious, foundational beliefs, things begin to happen. That's real talk, guys. Affirmations backed by action can become beliefs that are so ingrained that things begin to happen, because when you believe you can achieve. There's nothing that's going to stop you. It's just a matter of time. Okay? Now, number 5, we talked about it already, but you got to have a vehicle to obtain your goals. Now, here's the reason that it is a step of its own. Too many people exclude themselves from thinking that they need to focus on one thing. They get a vehicle and they think, well, I'm going to use this vehicle to do this, and I'm going to, I'm going to work in the stock market, and then I'm going to work in my business, and I'm going to also work this other business on the side on the weekends, and then no. If you've ever heard the term, you can't chase 2 rabbits at once and catch both. You can't hunt and shoot 2 deer at one time. You just can't think that you can obtain 2 things at once. An analogy that I was taught from a very young age is this. If you go to a car dealership and you want to buy a car, but you can't choose. There's 2 beautiful cars there, and one of them is a different color than the other, and one of them has different accessories, and you just can't choose which one you want. Okay? And you say to the dealer, I want to buy both of them. Of course he's going to sell it to you. That's life. Life will let you do whatever you want. But when he sells it to you, he assumes that you're going to drive one home and get somebody else to come pick you up and get the other one. He doesn't assume that you're going to go out, you're going to drive one out the lot, you're going to drive it 10 miles down the road, then you're going to get out and you're going to walk back and get the other car and drive that to meet the first car, to which you're going to get out and drive the first car again another 10 miles. You would never accomplish anything doing that, and that would be idiotic, and all of y'all agree that it would not be intelligent. But some of y'all do that in your life, and I did it for years. I was the worst at this. Thinking that I was too stupid, or thinking I was smart, and it would be stupid to put all my eggs in one basket. And what I did was derailed my success from coming true as fast as it should have, because I wasn't laser focused on making one thing successful. Pick a vehicle that you know is positioned to succeed. And if you don't understand how to choose a vehicle that's positioned to succeed, there's another video on my channel that talks about that. And when you do that, when you pick a vehicle that you are confident I can succeed in during this current economic time, then that's where the focus comes from, because the confidence allows you to stay focused and you work that vehicle hard. Okay? Last one, I'm just going to say this and say this once before I get to the last piece. If you're here and you're looking for more, if you're here and you're listening to this and it's making sense to you and you're saying, I want those things and I've got a few of them in place but I need a few more, or I've got none of them in place and I'm just looking for a way to start. Here's the deal. I do this channel, these episodes to help you. I want to see as many people achieve independence in their life as can be, because I know when we do that, not only do I make your life better, but you make my life better, and we make our country stronger as a country of independent, free people. So, if you're looking for more, click the link in the description now, go to robreview.com, and you'll go to a page where you will put in your email address to receive a book that I believe will explain how you can do all these things in one vehicle, and how you can frame your mind to understand how to begin to build success in your life. Okay? Now, the 6th piece. This is just a mindset thing, guys. And I'll really say this proud, because I'm happy that I'm doing this, and when you do this, you'll be happy too. In order to be successful, you have to learn to live differently now. Then you will be able to choose to live differently later forever. You get that? Did you hear that? I don't think you heard that. You have to learn to live differently now. Then you get to live differently as a choice eventually forever. You have to learn to live differently now, then you will be able to choose to live differently than everybody else forever. And that's when they will say, Oh, you were an overnight success. Oh, I can't believe that you were the lucky one. But all that time when you were toiling away and choosing not to do what they did, choosing not to go to the bars when they went, choosing to work later than they did, choosing to spend your weekends on your business and your free time on your business as opposed to the things that they did and they ridiculed you for it. That's your choice to do that. And then you achieve choice through that. And now you get to live differently for the rest of your life. And I want to see you have that, guys. You Rob reviewers, I appreciate it. Look, like this video if you found it very, very powerful, because the videos that you like, it enables more people to see them, and it lets me know what I'm doing right and what to do more of, what content to focus on. Leave a comment below on what you're going to focus on and the one thing that you got out of this video. Okay? Subscribe and hit the notification bells to get more great content like this. Look, guys, right now we're coming out with a video pretty much every day of great content to help you build independence in your life, and I want to hear from you. So subscribe so you can become a part of the Rob Review team and choose to live your life young, wealthy, and free.